And the State Council and CBC Central Committee attach great importance. And General Secretary also gave important guidance, saying that we should always put people's life safety before everything else, and we should implement all the disaster relief actions in details. Today, we have invited Secretary General of the National Flood Control and Drought Relief Command Headquarters, Vice Minister of Emergency Management, Vice Minister of Water Resources, Mr. Zhou Xuewen, Mr. Yu Haifeng from Ministry of Natural Resources, Mr. Liu Lifeng from Ministry of Housing and Urban Rural Department, and Mr. Zhuo Li from Ministry of Transport, Mr. Yao Wenguang from Ministry of Water Resources, and also Mr. Wang Zhihua from China Meteorological Administration, and they will give you more information regarding flood control and disaster relief and answer some of your questions. Now first, give the floor to Mr. Zhou Xuewen. Ladies and gentlemen, friends from the media, good afternoon. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the friends from the media for your support and concern. The State Council and CBC Central Committee attach great importance to the disaster relief work. On July 21st, General Secretary also gave us important instructions emphasizing right now we are in the critical moment in disaster relief and control, and always put the people's life and safety as our top priority, and we should also implement all the measures of disaster relief into details. Primarily, Kotiang also gave the important guidelines and also organized 143 meetings emphasizing the work to protect people's life and property. On 26th of July, and we also had a video conference for the further guidelines. This year we have encountered the abnormal weathers, and the disaster flooding happened with the following features. First, we have seen uneven distributed of raining, and we have seen many places recorded their historic high numbers. 314.8 millimeters of rainfall was recorded compared to previous days, 1.1% less. However, in northeast and the central places, Haihe River have also recorded a large downpours in a concentrated time. 154 national meteorological stations recorded their extreme rainfall record, among which 33 recorded the historical high number. In Zhengzhou, the hourly average reached 201.9 millimeters, a record hourly high in mainland China. The extreme number before is 198 millimeters. And we have seen the floodings also caused the river level increase. The upstream of Henan have seen a series flooding. In Jiang also saw the flooding happen. That's much earlier than the previous years. And we also have seen that the medium and small rivers also saw their river level increasing. In Henan and Hebei, the 6 rivers also recorded the historical high number in their water level. And also we initiated 10 water and flood detained areas. 372 rivers recorded their flood warning levels. 31 above the historical high, and also the rest of the flood, the rivers actually exceeded their flood control level. In Inner Mongolia, I have seen 2 reservoirs collapse. Henan 3 reservoirs saw the overtopping or the AC pages happened. Zhengzhou, Xinjiang, of Henan provinces have seen a serious waterlogging, and many rivers have saw the liver failure. Around 34.8 million people affected, and also around about 100 people died. Around the 123 billion RMB cost as a direct economic loss. Since the July 17th, a flood caused Henan, Shanxi, Inner Mongolia in total 21 provinces, 14.5 million people affected, 96 people died or missing, and 1.6 million people relocated, especially in Henan province, have seen severe disasters with large casualties as concerned all the people in China. So far, 73 people killed. And we collaborate, and because of these disasters, we also intensified our work, and we put people's life and the safety for everything else. The departments work together to do a good job in flood control and disaster relief. The National Flood Control and Drought Relief Command Headquarters sent 38 teams to the front line. And we also do our job to find the hidden risks and also work with relevant departments to study the information. And MOF also earmarked 180 million RMB for disaster relief. And Henan also received the 3 billion in the reconstruction work aftermath. And in recent days, we will give further support to the provinces based on their post-disaster work, and also send the daily necessities and also the ration boats to the provinces, and also around 4,000 people to support the work in Henan. Water Resources Ministry also give the water report, and also around 873 reports and warnings. And because of the early warning, 65 billion cubic meter of water actually contained. And we also do a good job to the project, a source to north water divert projects. And the Ministry of Natural Resources also contacted the 330,000 the investigation into the geological policies, and also give the warnings to the potential geological disaster happening. And all the other ministries also work hard to screen out the potential risk. In Henan province, it impacts the most, and they work together. And PLA and armed police forces, the firefighters, and the state-owned enterprises, the social forces, volunteers all work together and launched a strong and great battle fighting the flooding. And right now we are into a critical moment, because right now is the flooding season starting from the second half of July till the early of August. And for Beijing-Tianjin-Hebei region, the Inner Mongolia, and the west part of Heilongjiang and Jilin and Heilongjiang. These are ODA places. We'll see a strong rainfall. Some rivers and lakes may see the flooding, and the typhoons may also emerge and land to affect China and also make its move to the northeast, Haihe River, the Yellow River may also see the flooding happen, which will also cause the landslide, waterlogging, and other geological disaster. For the north part of China, actually, we not really see a lot of rainfall and also not have a lot of flooding, so we not have rich experience in this regard. So we also see that there are many reservoirs also in the north place. So that's also give us a great lessons to learn and also do our good job to prevent a second round of the rainfall. So we should do the following. First, we should emphasize the roles and responsibilities of the correspondent people and also different ministries and departments to work together and also give the instructions and also to conduct the supervisions. And also for the different industries and the companies, they should implement the emergency plan in the flood control and disaster relief. Make sure there's no loophole happens in their actions, and also earnestly implement the frontline responsibilities, and also at the key moment, the key persons should all work on the front line. Second, we should also check the early warning systems, and for this kind of the severe weather events, we should initiate the emergency monitoring system and also should give the alarming in a short time and also effectively, and also make sure that the alarming message can reach to each and every person. And we should also work with different departments, for example, such as the Ministry of Water Resources, the Meteorological Administration, and also the Emergency Management Department. And third, for floodings, for the city waterlogging and the flooding and the medium and small rivers, we should excavate people in these dangerous areas, and we should know exactly when we should move the people to a safer place, who should be the responsible for this action. And also we should prevent people from going back home from the temporary shelter to cause the potential casualty. And for the vessels, we should also make sure that the people living inside the vessels park their vessel at the birthplace, and also they stay online. And for the dangerous places, sign the disaster relief team, and also we should have the team to check the hidden risks, and we should make sure that we can prevent the major disasters from happening, and also do a good job in the flood control so we can prevent the large casualty from happening. And for the after the mass or during the flooding time, we should work together to repair the water supply, the access of electricity and other powers, and make sure that the people can get access to their daily necessities. and also give support to the different localities in terms of the reconstruction, and especially give the special attention to the people in difficulties so we can help them not getting back to poverty. And going forward, we will also emphasize the ownership of our work, make sure that our people's life and safety can be well guaranteed, and also win the battle against flooding and natural disasters. Now, my colleagues and I would like to take your questions. The floor is open. Please identify your media affiliation before raising questions. CMG CCTV. My question regarding the flood in Henan was the features this time. And also people talk about the situation in Xinjiang is quite even severe than the one in Zhengzhou. Would you please elaborate more? And also what about the situation in Anhui? From 17th to 22nd of July, Henan saw a record dam power. So the center of this dam power is Zhengzhou, Hebi, Xinxiang, Anyang, and Pingdingshan. Many rivers saw that their water level exceeded flood control level. The Weihe River, Dashahe, Anyang River, Gongchanzhuyi Canal, Jialuhe River all saw the historical high in terms of flooding. So the flood situation and the rainfall as well as dangerous cases in Henan show the following features. First, we have seen a big and strong rain happened from the 17th to 22nd. 39 counties and villages in Henan saw the dam power, and their accumulated precipitation reached half of their year annual precipitation. So basically saying that just in 5 days, they rained the precipitation equal to their yearly precipitation. And also some places saw a record high. In Zhengzhou, 24 hours, the precipitation reached above 600 millimeters. So just overnight, they saw that 600 millimeter rainfall, exceeding the annual precipitation in Zhengzhou. Second, regarding flooding, because of this strong dam power, 12 rivers saw the water levels exceeded the warning level. Jialuhe in Huaihe Basin on 21st, 1.43 millimeter above the flood control level. And it reached a record high since 1960, and also have seen the overtopping seepages and the levee collapse happened. The left bank of Weihe River also saw the levee failure. Jialuhe River, the right bank also saw the seepages. Henan at this time initiated 7 the flood retain areas. And this is large-scale flooding affecting many counties and villages, and also many places saw the waterlogging. Zhengzhou, the subways also temporarily halted, and also have seen that a large area of the power outage, They lack access to the electricity, drinking power, and telecommunication services, affecting a large number of people. 政流、江西、宁西、胶西 some DA parts is DA suspended. 186 trains were affected. National Highway also DA suspended services, and also DA reservoirs also reached the flooding control level. Had a potential impact to the safety of the people in Zhengzhou and also the south to north water transfer projects. Since July 16, the flooding in Zhengzhou caused Zhengzhou, Xinjiang in total 16 counties, 150 county villages, 13 million people affected, 73 people were killed, 1.408 million people were relocated.
121.4公顷，其中接收179.8公顷。
And also the around 1,000 hectares of the land actually is a total crop failure. In order to implement the General Secretary Xi's important instructions, the Ministry of the National Flood Control and Drought Relief Command Headquarters work hard, and also we work with the PLA and armed police forces. So far, 36,000 people, militia, 61,000 are involved in these times of flood control and disaster relief work in Henan province. The Ministry of Emergency Management, from 12 provinces, we dispatched 4,000 firefighters with rushing boats, the pump machines, mobile pump stations, rushed to Henan province. And we sent 14 professional teams with the to Hebei province, Hebei County, Hubei, Shanxi, Jiangxi. 22 teams with 500 people brought the 154 water drainage machines to Zhengzhou province. And we worked with the state-owned enterprises, around 1,800 people, and to work on the front line in Zhengzhou.
新乡卫辉市为围困群众的救援，成功地堵伏了信县渭河的9口等。国家的相关部委。
So they helped to work on the disaster relief work like the water topping, seepage, the levee failure, and sent 18 professional teams in Zhengzhou. Ministry of Transport dispatched 251 people. Bringing 147 machines such as shovels with them to support the construction projects. And also we have seen that the teams work on the Zhengzhou subway for the water drainage. And also the National Grid also sent their team to Zhengzhou province for the repairing the power supply system. And we have seen the other ministries also send teams to do the disaster relief work in Zhengzhou and other counties.
谢谢主持人。北京青年报记者提问，各位领导好。
这
次呢，河南突发这个暴雨，刚才您也提到几天呢，就下了
As you mentioned,
半年的这个水量。
a severe rainfall in Zhengzhou. We would like to know what's the reason behind. Thank you very much. From July 17th to 22nd, we have seen these extreme rainstorms lasting 6 days in Zhengzhou, Henan province. Henan, the majority of places, they recorded average rainfall above 500 millimeters. And the top three are Hebi, 581.8 millimeters, Zhengzhou, 535 millimeters, Xinjiang, 467 millimeters, and Zhengzhou recorded 993 millimeter rainfall, and their daily record reached 600 millimeter, reached their annual place. The annual number is 640 millimeters. So basically saying that just one day the rain, the precipitation equal to their annual number.
777.5毫米。在这一次的特大暴雨过程当中，郑州、鹤壁、安阳、新乡、洛阳 in total 19 observed stations recorded their historical extreme number. So we could say that this time it's rain quite extreme, and also we record a large amount of precipitation. The reason behind it is because of the climate change, and also caused a larger possibility of these extreme abnormal weather events. For this record-breaking storm, normally we should have enough the water vapor, and also we should have the consistent vertical upward movement. So the water vapor going up and also causing the form rainfall. So in the middle of July, actually Henan is at a subtropical high, and we have seen the In-fa actually formed, approaching to China. And because of the subtropical high in the West Pacific, and large number of the vapor actually moving to China and providing the rich water resources to cause the rainfall this time in Henan. In the middle of July, the subtropical high in the West Pacific plus the continental high actually is in the Sea of Japan, so that's caused a stagnant precipitation system, and this actually help to produce that vertical upward movement, and also because of the specific topography, there are many mountains, so that also caused a favorable environment for this kind of vertical movement, more intense. So that is why the rain is more severe. Thank you.
你好，我是新加坡《海峡时报》的记者。我将用英文问我的问题。Climate change is set to bring about more extreme weather events. You mentioned how North China is set to experience more rainfall later this year. This trend seems likely to continue in years to come. How does China plan to prevent the tragedy in Henan in other provinces in the future?
请翻译一下。您好，刚才您也提到，现在呢极端天气频发，今年的后半年可能北方中国还会面临更多的极端天气的影响，未来的几年也许这样的情况还会持续。那么您有什么计划能够在未来采取何种措施来避免现在在河南发生的悲剧或者灾难在其他地方继续的重演？
气象是不是在说？
好，就是刚才您提到，确实这个全球气候变化。
Yes, indeed, because of the change in the global a weather condition that caused this kind of severe weather events happened. Under this circumstance, we have seen the abnormal weather events happening, and also the atmospheric pressures actually also change. So basically saying that we are in a new normal, and it is kind of a record weather events. It's a record rainfall. Maybe later on should be something that we should get used to. And we also can see that in the recent years, we have seen this kind of abnormal weather events. And we have seen the storm happened in winter, and also in May and June we have seen the gusts happening, and also recently the most severe rainstorms on record in Henan. Actually, these are all happened. And this should give the special attention to this extreme weather event, and this should later on maybe be something that frequently happens. So first we should strengthen our capability of warning system and also the forecast capability. So people also need to improve their skill sets. I also would like to add on some points. We have seen a frequent emerge of the extreme weather condition. We have a set of actions. Going forward, we should emphasize that we should improve the forecast capability, especially in a short time warning system. And also we should have our emergency plan in place. The different industries and the different places actually have their set of the emergency response actions, and we should check all these actions, make sure they are feasible and also effective. And third, we should emphasize the role and responsibilities. We have that a set of the administration, so people know who should pay the responsibility. So these should all be well implemented. So when we encounter this kind of the extreme weather event, people can rush to the front line and know what kind of job they should shoulder. All in all, we want to protect the people's life and safety.
好，请继续提问。好，我们第一排这位女记者吧。
谢谢主持人。南方都市报记者提问：大暴雨对水库安全有一定的考验，近期暴雨造成一些水库出现险情，我国水库众多，请问目前水库情况怎么样？如何保障水库的安全？谢谢。
And we also have a large number of reservoirs and dams in China. How we can protect the safety of the reservoirs? Reservoirs actually play a key role in the disaster discharge. And so far we have 98,000 reservoirs, and 13,000 reservoirs are the small ones. They have the potential risk, and actually the reservoirs can play a key role in flood discharging, and how we can protect the safety of reservoirs always top of our agenda. So we should have the people to work on the warning and the forecast, and also we should give the early warnings, and also we have the actions and the plans that should be better implemented into letters. So specifically, first, we should release information to the public in terms of the ownership of each job. And also we need to do the checking work, make sure that the reservoirs operate in a safe manner, and also to excavate people at the downstream if emergency may happen. And also we should have the plan in terms of flood diversion operation, and also the allocation as well as the flood control actions. Third, we also need to strengthen our work in terms of the warning and forecast work so that we can provide more accurate forecast, especially the upstream flooding situation, and also give the warnings to the relevant shareholders and also the people living at the downstream of the reservoirs. And also, when we enter into the period of flooding, the water level should operate below the flood control level. And when we operate under the warning of a flood, and we may empty the reservoirs, waiting for the flooding to come in after the flood, and we should also use the reservoir to play as a role in terms of flood discharging. So this kind of the role is that the reservoir should play. And also one of the important things we need to do is that we should have an emergency plan in place and also organize the localities and the people living around the reservoirs to do the rehearsal and the drill in calm days. So what we do is we want to protect people's safety and also take effective ways to do the flood control and disaster relief. In terms of the role played by the reservoirs, 372 rivers have actually seen their water level above the control level, and the storm power also happens in certain places. Some reservoirs also operate above the alarming level, and reservoirs actually play a key role in receiving flooding waters and also discharge flood. Based on our numbers, so far 2,415 the large and medium-sized reservoirs and received the 65 billion cubic meters water. 3.95 million people do not need to evacuate because of the reservoirs. Yuecheng Ganan Reservoir received the water from Putuo River. So we take in the flood.
调度尼尔基水库，规避了嫩江、超井、超保。目前降雨区内各类水库运行总体
So far, the reservoirs operate in a stable manner because of the severe rainstorm on record above the flood control levels. The certain reservoirs show the dangerous situation, and July 28, in Inner Mongolia, we have seen 2 reservoirs above the flood control, so they do not have enough room to receive flooding, so that have the potential risk happen, for example, the overtopping and also the reservoir failure. So far, there's no casualty happened, and this year, because of the dangerous cases happened in reservoir caused the casualties, there's no casualty reported. Going forward, the Ministry of Water Resources will implement the general securities instructions always put the people's life and safety as our top priority and make sure there's no risk happened at the reservoirs. I would like to also add on the situation in Zhengzhou, especially the 2 dangerous reservoirs. One is Changjiang Reservoir, that's a medium-sized one. Another one is a smaller size reservoir. So back then, these 2 reservoirs actually caused a big, dangerous situation, and we rushed to the scene. On 21st, I was there. The smaller reservoir actually digged a channel to release the water inside the reservoir to kill the problems. And the Changjiang Reservoir actually saw the seepages and the PLA work around the clock to solve the issues. Right now, these 2 reservoirs are safe, but still, right now, we're in the critical moment because it's the flooding season. Henan, especially Zhou Xuewen, later on also will experience the rainstorm. They also see another round of flooding. We also require the localities to help us to find the hidden risks, and should also find the potential risks and kill these risks ahead of the curve.
我是新华社记者。刚才秘书长说到，这次荷兰的洪涝灾害中，有100多万人被紧急转移安置。
As you mentioned, around 1 million people actually were evacuated. For these number of people, how we can protect their daily necessities guaranteed, and what about the aftermath reconstruction work? The work this time, actually, we have seen the most severe disaster on record, and a large number of people actually evacuated. The Ministry of Emergency Management gave our full support to Henan province and the government in all the disaster relief work. We initiated the emergency response level at the national level, and based on the situation in Henan province, we also initiate the emergency response. We also upgraded to level 3 of our emergency response endeavor and give a stronger support to Henan. And this number in Henan actually already up to level 1, the highest level of emergency response. And we also to earmark and granted a fund to Henan. And we work with the Ministry of Finance to grant financial support to Henan. The second day after disaster happened, we grant 60 million from the central budget to Henan province. Yesterday, 3 billion from central budget also initiated to Henan for the post-disaster reconstruction work. And we also work hard to supply the daily necessities. Around 90,000 materials granted to Henan, and also around 260,000 sets of materials. In total, 350,000 sets of the materials sent to Henan, including crawls, the affordable beds, the chairs. These are all disaster relief needed materials, all arrived in Henan in order to guarantee the people's relocated life. Fourth, we also signed the working teams on site to give the guidance to people in Henan. Our working team also went to different places as well as to the shelters to learn the situation of the reaccommodated people and did a good job to provide the services to the people in shelters. And shelters actually are the schools, because right now it's the summer holidays, so a lot of these kind of the shelters actually are at schools. With the help across the board in Henan, so far the disaster relief work conducted in a well-orderly manner, and people's basic needs actually were well guaranteed. Having said that, I still saw some inconvenience in people's way of work and way of life, especially that the road transportation, the supply of electricity, supply of drinking water. In some communities right now, still they rely on the temporary water stations. So these are some of the inconveniences waiting for the further actions, but we believe that a locality will do their best to solve all these issues. Thank you.
这边吧，第一排这位记者。
谢谢香港中评社记者提问：受强降水影响，进出河南的交通受阻，请问目前交通情况如何？何时能够全面恢复？谢谢。
We see our sea, and because of the rainstorm, right now a lot of roads actually is blocked, and how we can bring the unimpeded flow of transportation in an early date. This question actually concerned a lot of people. On the July 21st, Ministry of Transport initiated our second level of emergency response and also work with Department of Transport in Henan and also the surrounding provinces. We work in details and also we learned the situation of the bridges and other infrastructures, and also dispatch 2 working teams to the most impacted regions. Also work with the Ministry of Finance, grant the finance to support the reconstruction of roads and bridges. And we also learned the pictures of the material reserve in the neighboring counties and the provinces. So far, the transport operate in a stable manner. According to the subway service, as of yesterday, around 200 waterlogging, 170 waters already drained, and for certain routes, not available or just one way available. For the rest, actually right now are all back to service. And for the express, for the rail transport, right now is majority of the trains actually back to service. For expressways, as of 7 o'clock this morning, the 8 national expressways, 17 the provincial expressways are right now all back to service. The expressways in Henan, the truck lines actually are all in operation, no car parked there, and just one place because of the worker logging are now not available. For the rural roads, actually are hugely impacted. 1,800 are now blocked. Half of them right now is solved issues, and right now the big issue is still because of flooding and the water not receded yet, so that's the right now cannot be solved, and also some of the road base actually also damaged, so it took a longer time to restore each service. And for the Zhengzhou subway, Zhengzhou, Anyang, Hebei, the public transport are now 100% back to service. The civil aviation service right now around 600 flights, airplanes can touch down. And also the post service actually is also operate normally. Going forward, Ministry of Transport will continue to give our support to the restore construction and also the repairment of roads, and also we'll have people work around the clock to check the potential risks, and also we will strengthen our capability of the warning check and also provide the safety and unimpeded transport to people.
第一排吧，第一排这位男记者。
谢谢。中新社记者提问：今年第6号台风
Henan News Agency,
南方沿海地区登
the
陆在南
6th Typhoon In-fa actually landed in China, and what kind of the measures we have taken to prevent the impact caused by In-fa? Typhoon In-fa on 25th of July landed in Zhejiang province and across Hangzhou Bay, and on the second day at 9 a.m. make is a second landfall. For In-fa actually show the following features. First, a strong wind. When In-fa touched on, it reached a 13 scale of wind, and the sea places has reached a level 12 to 14, and also the gust can reach to level 16. And also the second feature is the large amount of rainfall. 8 a.m. on 17th, 浙江、安徽、上海、安徽、江苏, the accumulated precipitation reached 100 to 250 millimeter. North part of Zhejiang, Shanghai, and the east and south of Zhejiang reached 300 to 600 millimeter of rainfall. Zhejiang, Ningbo, Yiyao, and Anji, Lin'an in Hangzhou, regional rainfall reached 700 to 900 millimeter. Yiyao also record 1,043.3 millimeter of precipitation. Zhejiang and Shanghai, the 12 water stations record their historical high number in July. And third is a large scale of impact. From 22nd to 28th of July, Zhejiang, Shanghai, Jiangsu, Anhui, south part of Shandong actually had a big impact brought by Typhoon In-fa, and still will continue its impact to Henan, Beijing, Tianjin, Hebei, Inner Mongolia, Liaoning. Another round of rainstorm, so you could see that from the south part of China to north part of China. And it also will last a longer time period. So after its landing, Jiangsu, Zhejiang is stacked for quite a long time, causing continuous impact. And it's already impacted for 7 days, but still stacked there. So we have seen a huge storm surge. So that's also caused a big impact to prevent the tide water. Taihu River also have seen the number one flooding. Based on our preliminary calculation, Zhejiang, Shanghai, Jiangsu, Anhui, 4 provinces, 2.7 million people were impacted because of Yanhua, and the 2.7 million people relocated, causing 3.35 billion RMB direct economic loss. So far, there's no casualty reported. National Flood Control and the Drought Relief Command Headquarters and Emergency Management keep a close eye on the dynamic change of Typhoon In-fa, and also had RDA measures to fight typhoon. And we have done the following. First, we studied the situation, work with the Meteorological Administration as well as the Ministry of Water Resources. We required the localities to know that the features of Typhoon In-fa should always keep their alert and do the work in a solid manner. And second, we initiated emergency response. The National Flood Control and Drought Relief Command Headquarters, we initiate the Level 4 emergency response, and on 23rd, we upgrade to Level 3, dispatching 5 teams to Zhejiang, Shanghai, Anhui, Shandong, and Hebei to support the localities to carry out the disaster relief work. And third, we also ask the localities to implement earnestly the flood control, disaster relief, and also the officials work on the front line. And fourth, we protect people's safety. So for the key regions with potential risks, we should also do a good job to evacuate people. And also all the vessels and the ships all berth at the port, and we also closed 1,004 sightseeing places. For the hidden risky places, we dispatch and station a team of rescue people, and also we run against the clock to transport the materials, and also we help the people from the tripped areas.
关于防范烟花的海洋和地质灾害，是不是我们自然资源部的？
这次台风烟花造成的海洋灾害，
Talking about ocean disaster,
是近10年最严重的。
actually we could tell that Typhoon In-fa this time caused a decade risky situation.
灾害预警级别达到罕见的双红。
After the typhoon landfall, that also coincide with the storm surge period, Shanghai, Zhejiang, the emergency level reached the right level, as an alarming level. So this is rarely seen in recent years. And also we have seen that impact large areas with a longer time period. Ministry of Natural Resources keep a close eye on the change of a typhoon, and also to change the response level, and also expand the place. And we implement General Secretary Xi's instruction and also Premier Li and other central officials' guidelines. So for the impacted regions, we should check on a regular basis in terms of the monitoring systems. And Jiangsu, Shanghai, Zhejiang, Fujian had the teleconference and also issued 24 alarming messages and provided a service to the localities to conduct their disaster relief work. On 25th of July, we also dispatched 8 working teams to Shanghai, Jiangsu, Shandong, Fujian, Jiangxi, Anhui, work with the local department to implement a plan of disaster relief, and also to do the checking work, and also to help the localities to move people to a safer place, and we will also to improve our capability of focus and warning, and also do a job to against the ocean disaster and geological disaster. Thank you. China Daily. In many places we have seen extreme weather events and also seeing the most severe rainstorms. So for the people in towns places like the large and medium scale cities, how we can do our good job in terms of the supply of drainage water. The Ministry of Housing and Urban Rural Department has implemented earnestly the instruction given by the CP Central Committee and State Council, and also work with the local departments to strengthen our work and make sure that we do the good job in the supply of water supply, the city water drainage work, and also the supply of natural gases. As you mentioned about the supply of the water. And we have the daily report system and also the raining support and also the after rain work reporting, and we have the key people in response. And we have a name list, so we know exactly which work should be performed by which person. In Zhengzhou, Xinjiang, have seen witnessed the record rainfall. Ministry of Housing and Urban Rural Department also mobilize the resources and forces across the board to support these places to conduct the after rain reconstruction work in Beijing, Shandong, and 160 people, and also sent the professional trucks who organize 5 teams to support Henan to conduct the water drainage work. Hebei, Shanxi, Jiangsu also organized their supporting team with equipment standby. A group of experts also rushed to Zhengzhou to give the on-site instruction to the waterworks, make sure that the water supply reached the standards. With the concerted efforts, the supply of water, the lighting, and are resumed. Right now, just 3 communities right now still rely on the temporary water stations. And this morning, 9 o'clock, right now the water already restored. As some of the community right now, for the higher storage, they still not have the stable water pressure. So that's our going forward the focus of our work, and we will also further implement the guidance given by General Secretary Xi and work with the local departments to check the hidden dangers and also to keep the stable supply of the gases and drinking waters, and make sure that the city operates in a safe, stable manner. Thank you.
谢谢主持人。新京报记者提问：今年入汛以来呢，部分地区强降雨也引发了一些山洪啊、泥石流啊、滑坡这种地质灾害。
And we have seen the rain-triggered geographic disaster happened, such as the landslide and mudslide. And we also talk about that we may have the potential risks if we have another round of rainfall.
这个我介绍一下啊，这个山洪灾害啊，这个具有那个点多面广、突发性强等特点，是受期造成人员伤亡的主要3种。
Torrent disasters.
我们分析啊，每年因山洪灾害死亡人数，在洪涝灾害总人数70%左右，有些年份啊更高。
Actually, 70% of the casualties caused by this disaster. And we followed a plan brought by the State Council, and we organized 29 provinces and regions to practice the geological disaster. So we have the self-monitoring system linking the county level, provincial, and also national a warning system.
5级山洪灾害防御责任体系，它也所建立了专群
And we also established a system of the mountain flood, mountain torrential flood. So actually from the provincial level to each household that's in the network, and also to educate the public so they know how to protect themselves and also their neighbors. So we need to give the accurate focus, and people know where they can head. Right now we're entering the flooding season, so we should give even a frequent and accurate forecast and to release all these warning information to the person in charge, and also we work with the different partners, and we can bring this warning information to each and every person in the affected region. And also we can relocate the people ahead of time and also do a solid work to provide the arranged accommodation to these people. So far, we have released 180,000 county-level messages, and also sent 21 million messages to the person in charge, and also work with the telecommunication companies and 590 million messages to each household. So these actually play a key role in allocating people at an early time and also protecting people's safety. And we have seen that less casualty reported. Right now we're still in the critical time period. I would like to call for everyone that please learn the knowledge to protect yourself in terms of the torrential flood, especially people living in the mountainous areas, and also if you've traveled to other places, please always keep a close attention to the weather forecast. If it is in the flooding season or the strong raining season, please pay attention on going to the mountainous areas, and so always keep the attention and keep alert to the environment. The Ministry of Natural Resources work with the Geological Administration and the local departments issue the orange alert, and also send 6 teams to the front line to conduct on-site checking and the risk shooting work. And we also initiate level 3 emergency response in terms of geological disaster and send 3 teams to Henan, Hebei, Shanxi provinces, and also give the even more frequent warning of the geological disaster. As of now, 139 disasters were caused by the severe rainfall in Henan. No people died because of this. For the upcoming rainfall, we should always keep our high vigilance. In recent years, we emphasize on the tracking work. So we tried to find the hidden risks, but there actually are still a large number of geological hidden disasters existed. And the 25,000 the dangerous places, we already placed the alarming system, but actually far from enough. On April 8th, we had the conference with relevant departments to have the unified arrangement. And actually, we place the advanced system to help us to find the potential risk at the early date. And we also strengthen our efforts in the R&D work. And so far, we have successfully given the 14 warnings. And also work with Meteorological Administration to give the 72 hours alarming, so that can give the enough buffer time for the localities to move the people to a safer place. And also we send the expert team to the 30 provinces to gather the localities to implement the system. So all we are doing is that we would run ahead of the curve, so we can take the advanced action before the disaster happens, and also send the team to the highly likely disaster happen places to get the on-site work. Right now, still a critical moment because we're still in the flooding season, and also we are in face of grave challenges, especially in the northern part of China, because we will see another round of rainfall, and we would like to use all kinds of the technologies to support our work. First, we keep a close eye on both north and south part of the strong rainfall areas, and also strengthen our work on the alarming and focused part. And in addition of the expert team, we also send the 256 experts on site and at the front line to give the support. And also we work with relevant departments to use all kinds of available technologies to help us to give the on-time alarming, as well as to roll out the approved systems. And we will also send a team to check the hidden risks and the monitored areas, especially the happen of the landslide or mudslide, so we can give the warning to the localities so they can move the people to a safer place.
关于山洪泥石流的防疫，我想再补充几点。山洪泥石流的防范工作啊，是我们每年汛期防疫的重点，因为山洪泥石流啊，防范的难度大，容易造成人员
We
伤
talk
亡。
about actually it's very hard for
我们有一
us
个统计，
to focus the landslide, but landslide or the geological disaster actually caused a large casualties.
泥石流的灾害
So
占到
the
了60%以上。
torrential flood
一直是我
at the
们
mountains
防疫的
area actually caused 60% of the total casualties.
我们去年啊，国家防办专门组织到几个省进行了专题的调研。
Last year, we conducted specific research
要有效地
at
降
different
低
places
山洪泥石流的人员伤亡，
in order
关
to
键是要做
minimize
各环节的
casualties caused by the torrential flood. We should do a good job in the following areas. First,
来了山洪
we should learn
泥石流以后
clearly the picture
转移
and
哪些
when
人，
the
转移的范围
mountains flooding
是哪个范围
happened, who should be relocated. Second, who should organize this relocation work? So the village and the household, we should know the ownership of this job. So when they received the alarming, and then who should be the person to organize this relocation, especially the elderly people and the younger ones. And third is the timing. We talked many times about the monitoring work, and we have many monitoring stations, but also we should rely on people to conduct on-site check. When we find a hidden risk, we should move people to a safer place, because the timing is very important. If we just actually can seize the opportunity of 1 minute or 10 minutes, that's very important. We can save people's lives. So it's urgent, very urgent. So we need to know exactly when we should move the people, and also we need to know we move them to where. So we need to know where we should escape, and we should conduct that action in a faster speed. And then is we should provide a service to the relocated people. So basically we found this kind of situation is that people think they are safe, so they move back to their home. We talk about the geological disaster, actually the rain stopped, and then the natural disaster like a landslide happen. So sometimes people think that they are safe, the rain stopped, and so they are safe enough to go back home. Then disaster happened. So we need to know exactly when we should let the people going back, and also we need to provide the people randomly or decide going back home by themselves. We also have some good experience for your reference.
好，谢谢主持人。红星新闻记者提问。在汛期到来之前，国家防办专门发布了防汛抗旱行政责任人名单，请问如何确保基层的责任落实到位？谢谢。
The National Flood Control and Drought Relief Command headquarters actually released a ownership list. How we can guarantee that at the community level or the grassroots level, the people perform their work. So this is a very important question. And to answer your questions, we have done the following work. First, we released that name list. Pre-flooding season, we have released a person in charge list. 2,309 people on the list. 19 provinces, municipalities, and 31 key flooding cities. The key officials from the local government taking charge.
同时，我们在通报中明确，各级防汛责任人要切实地履行工作的职责。
And they should perform their duty, implement their work.
防汛抗旱的各项工作，对于失职、渎职造成严重后果的，要依法依纪。
And they should hold accountable because of they shirk from their responsibility or neglect their responsibility.
2019年的时候，国家防
治进
一步修订完善了各级地方人民政府、行政首长 防汛抗旱的工作职责，并且下发执行。
The guideline on roles and responsibilities of ownership.
首长对健全组织指挥体系，落实防汛抗旱的责任，加强应急能力建设，组织方案的意愿的修订，组织开展台风的防御、 灾后的救助和恢复重建等14个方面的职责。
So that the chief in charge actually needs to perform the 14 jobs in terms of the flood control, disaster relief, the after disaster reconstruction. And we have sent 7 working teams to the key regions to check their work in preventing flooding and the disasters. One of our key jobs is to check the chief in charge.
针对检查发现的问题提出整改的要求。
And we also give them the requirements to rectify their wrongdoing.
责任人的培训。大家知道，
Another thing is like we give the training.
地方的政府特别是4县乡的政府都在集中换届，新上任的防汛抗旱行政责任人比较多。 所以组织开展防汛抗旱
Because this year is also a year to a term change of officials, so we also give the trainings to the new in office people. So we also send experts to give them trainings.
各地压实防汛抗旱的责任，各级房子都及时完成了防汛抗旱行政责任人的调整工作，提前公布
And for the person in charge of flood control, disaster relief, the name list is also available online to the public. And we also check on a random term basis to see whether or not the person in charge performed their job.
各地对基层的防汛工作落实不力的情况，也进行了 摘责问责，我给你举2个例子，一个是去年7月份，湖南汉寿县对这个县的周口镇落实上级防汛工作要求不力问题予以通报，有23个人被问责。去年8月份，安徽省府南县对防汛抢险救灾工作中落实情敌查险工作部署 不到位，问责了17个人。谢谢。
好，请继续提问。最后一个问题，第2排这位男记者。
谢谢封面新闻记者提问。当前正处于7下8上的防汛关键期，想请问一下，气象部门预测未来一段时间全国的汛情形势如何？南北方有什么区别？防御的重点是什么？谢谢。
好，谢谢您的提问。 我介绍一下这个未来的这个气候趋势。应该说，从目前来看，未来一段时间的这个天气气候形势依然比较复杂，不容乐观。从最近1周的情况来看，这个预计未来1周需要重点关注第6号台风烟花及其残余环流对于东北、华北和华东等地的影响，特别是受其影响，7月28号到31号。 江苏、安徽北部、山东、河南濮阳和商丘、京津冀东部、内蒙古东部、东北地区西部等地有暴雨和大暴雨，局地有特大暴雨。特别是前一段时间，这个华北地区、东北地区的西部，这个降雨量已经偏多，所以要特别警惕最近这几天这个降雨的叠加影响。另外，预计未来10天。 西北太平洋还将有1到2个台风生成，其中将有1个影响我国东南沿海地区，所以华东沿海需要继续做好防台风工作。从8月份的形势来看，我国气候仍然总体偏差。预计8月上旬，我国以南方多雨为主，江南、华南和西南地区的南部降水将比常年同期偏多。8月中旬， 我国将有2条雨带，南北各有1条。长江以南大部分地区、西北部分地区、内蒙古中东部、东北部分地区、华北大部降水依然偏多。8月下旬，我国北方多雨为主，所以华北部分地区、西北部分 地区和内蒙古部分地区，还有我们东北的部分地区降水偏多。预计8月份，在西北太平洋和南海海域可能有4到6个台风生成，其中有2到3个台风登陆和影响我国华南和东南沿海地区。登陆的台风路径将以西行为主，但是8月的中下旬可能会有北上台风影响我国北方地区。
A typhoon land and also moving northward, so that impact a China North. So it's a very complex picture, and we should always place a close attention to the formation of typhoon and its movement, and also based on our suggestions, please also pay attention to your focus of the flood relief work. So we talk about this year's key focus, the flooding season, and the Ministry of Water Resources also have our focus on the key rivers, lakes, and the Yellow River, Haihe River, Songhua River, Haihe River, and we will see the large flooding. So that's also the challenge to our work. For the northern part of China, our key focus is that we focus on each branch. For the different features of the branches, we have already designated matters. Let me give you 2 examples. The Yellow River Basin should focus on the Xiaolangdi, Guxie, Lugun, Hukou, Cheng, these reservoirs. So we should leverage the strengths of these reservoirs. And for the other rivers and dams, we should pay attention to the downstream of the waters, and also to relocate people to a safer place. For the small reservoirs, we should also give the alarmings and also have the dynamic studies and make sure that we can improve the accurate focus, and also that we can utilize the flood discharging operation in an accurate and timely manner, and also to relocate people in dangerous areas. All in all, our work should be always continue and always keep high alert to the flooding, and also do our good job to protect people's safety. People attach great importance to the flood relief and disaster relief work, and going forward, we'll also relieve the information various means. Thank you all.